Sure. Although the symptom, I mean, yeah, that's definitely my issue, and my big thing I'm wondering about. Well, why am I getting older? That's the first thing I want to stop doing that. Number two, my toes. I'm going to cheat out like this.
Cheat out.
Cheat. I'm going to cheat to the cameras like this.
Oh, sure.
And you can too. See, it probably doesn't bother you that you have like bed hair all the time, but it does bother me. No, you don't. I do.
I probably do. I'm just happy to have any hair.
Yeah, me too.
Let's okay. So
Yeah, do you want me to move these out? Just tell me what to do. Yeah.
Did you film me knocking over the heart?
Did I feel it?
Film me knocking over the heart.
I might have, but nobody would see it because they couldn't see the harp. I mean, I have knocked over harps and
They just heard the horrible clang.
Well, yeah, I've knocked them over in very bad situations, like knocked over a builder's beautiful harp with the builder sitting in the audience in front of 1,000 people.
Builder.
Like the harp builder.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That sucked.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna, I guess, start.
You know, I'm trying to stand up straight.
Yeah, I know.
You want me to just stand normal?
Yeah.
Just normal and be like this. Okay. Oh, do you want me to take my boots off?
Yeah, lose the boots.
Okay.
And I should probably take a peek at your feet.
Can.
How vulnerable do we want to get?
Oh, you can be, whatever. I mean, we don't have to show the
Let's
thing.
lose the socks for a
Yeah,
second.
I don't care. You can. I want to know about all this.
But then I'm going to tell you, yes, then we're going to set the stage.
So I'm wearing
toe spacers.
Yeah, and let me just make this down so people can maybe even see a little bit better. Yeah, I'm wearing toe spacers.
Wow, you have enough memory on the telephone for an hour of video.
Yeah, much longer than that.
Killer.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Let me turn it up just a little bit more. Sorry, I'm always going to be obsessing about this because when I go to edit things afterwards and they're not working.
And you do your own editing too.
Yeah, I do.
Awesome.
But you know what I really want? I want to make enough money that I can get a videographer, so I don't have to do this stuff. Oh, you can try it and try it and try it. Okay, this is okay. We can see me. But if we get up here, no, this is pretty good. Okay, we can get that far. All right, so there's my toe. I have toe spacers.
Wow, that's a daily thing. The toe spacers.
I normally wear them all the time and at night.
Because of pain? Because of friction?
You know, I actually discovered that I might be in pain if I didn't have them, but that's not why I got them. I got them because I run, and I don't know, and I wanted to be able to run and not worry about it and just feel like, okay, I'm not hurting myself. And so this has been going on definitely for probably 5 years.
Okay, yeah, this is important.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about the shoulders, but what's happening with the toes is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So we'll try to get the whole picture.
Come on in here.
Okay. We'll try to get the whole picture explained.
Yeah, great.
And I guess I'll deliver it in pieces. And if you have questions,
okay,
fire
so shall
away.
I take this off because I'm not going to put the
Yeah, let's lose the harness.
Okay, great.
Can you get the toe socks off? Yeah.
Yeah.
They just look like
No,
an ordeal to put on.
No, I've got that down. That I finally learned to have a good toe sock. Take her off. And see this red thing on this toe? This is, I think, from the toe, from the plastic thing. So.
All right. Yeah. So you have some huge questions like what's going on with me? Why am I getting older? These are really important.
Well, I guess I'm getting older because I'm getting older.
Well, okay. Chronologically, yes.
Okay.
And then my job is physiologically, posture, balance, these other markers of aging.
Okay.
So you can't change your date
Okay.
on the
I can't?
driver's license, but we can keep
Oh,
you youthful.
my age on the driver's license. Right. Yeah, right.
Yes. So I guess we'll start at the core. Now our objective is going to be shoulders.
Yeah. Although.
It's all connected, but
Yeah.
we're going to take a peek at the shoulders.
Can we stop for just 1 second?
Yeah.
I think you might have something black. No, is that just your tooth?
Like a little
I
space.
can't tell. You might want to look at it because I hate it. I don't care.
I was eating almonds in the car.
Okay, I don't care. Oh, there's a bathroom there, but I hate it when I finish a video and I'm like, crap. Is that?
A little space in the bottom.
Okay, that's fine. So that's normal. Okay, fine. I mean, I have a black thing on my tooth, and it's normal, and I don't like it, but there it is. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, we're gonna come back here.
We're good.
Okay. All right.
What would you like?
Oh, it's on the outside. In there, it's kind of a little cubby hole for it.
Outside or inside?
Yeah, it's right here. Here, it's right there.
How did I miss that? Okay.
so you were over there. I was over here.
Okay.
All right, so you were saying, all right, your chronological age on your driver's license, you can't do anything about it.
Right, but you can definitely do something about your hip mobility age, or your balance age, or your
Wow.
posture age, or your function age, or your pain age.
Are these terms that are like out there in the world, or are these
No.
just your terms?
They're about 3 seconds old.
Those are really, really great, by the way.
Oh, good. Great.
Pain age? What did you call it? What did you say? Pain age?
Posture age.
Posture age.
Hip mobility
Hip
age.
mobility age.
And then my
This
favorite
is great.
your real youth. So my definition of youth. I have a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She's 2.5.
I'm gonna stand here so that you're talking in the camera.
Okay. She's going to be 3.5.
Mhm.
God bless. But we don't lament that she's getting older, because we know we're watching this journey. She's getting better. So the passage of time is making her better and stuff. So
Right.
it's exciting to get older.
Yeah.
What if at all of our chronological ages, we can get better at stuff over time? So my definition of youth is you're in a state of youth when the passage of time makes you better at stuff instead of making you worse at stuff. So I want to get you into the youth state. Now, there are physiological markers that allow youth state to materialize. And basically, it's your ability to change shape, your ability to adapt to stress, your ability to change. So the places in the body where change happens, literally when we're walking over uneven terrain or something, it happens at the hip joint, in that mechanism, which includes the sacroiliac joint, and it happens in the core. It also happens somewhat in the tissues themselves. So if everything is squishy and can change shape and adjust as the environment around you is changing, you are in youth state, and you can learn stuff.
So like the difference, like I'm thinking about a tank, like when a tank is going over
Uneven terrain.
uneven terrain.
Yes.
Or we have these harp mobiles that have 3 wheels instead of 2, so that they can go up the stairs like that. So
Yeah,
that they
tank's
can give
ideal.
flexibility.
Yes, multiple things that are rolling, but they
Yeah.
can bob up and down. You remember the Mars lunar lander or the Mars lander, where you go over the uneven terrain and the
I know.
wheels bobbed up and down?
Okay.
We're supposed to be
Alright.
like that.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yes, and when we're not like that, when the
Uh-huh.
pieces of us that are supposed to change
Uh-huh.
cannot change, the toes have to change shape, because now your toes are grabbing for the floor when you run instead of the hip joint placing the toes on the floor.
Wow.
And that's how we get the hammering and some of the little.
Really.
So
So it's not from wearing boots while I was on tour with a rock band, wearing my harp every day.
correct. It is from what's happening at the hip. We're going to measure that,
Okay. Cool.
and we're going to correct it.
Great.
When the hip is a little bit constricted, you still have to see what's happening when you walk down the street. So up goes the head, there go the shoulders.
I was going to ask about that. I was going to say shoulders. Then what happens to my chin when my shoulder?
Yeah. So the first order of postures, see where you're going. That's the first step.
Wow.
So you got to see where you're going, even if you got some stickiness in the hip bone socket. So that's where the forward shoulders come in. So in a sense, thank God for poor posture, because if it wasn't, the first thing that went wrong would fall her back and starve to death.
See.
So we have these wonderful ways of compensating, and they last for decades, but they do start to catch up. So if our job is to turn 16 to 40, 85 into 65, to really go from cute platitude to actually this is how we're living our life, we have to make some changes in the body. So this little physiological vessel that we're living in can support what we want to do with our minds and hearts and spirits and stuff like that. So we're going to connect that stuff to you.
That's great.
Yeah, should be fun. And for you, it's performance and posture and being super fabulous. For
Yeah.
other people, it's what my project is, just not being in danger,
Right.
being safe as you get from place to
Not
place.
falling. Yeah.
Not falling. But it's all the same journey
Wow.
of connecting up the pieces of us that move. So let's get to the core and the fingers and the toes. And
Yeah.
then, all right. So the core.
Actually, can I ask you something?
Please.
So you talked about the toes.
Yes.
How about the fingers? How are they related to what's going on here with my hips?
Oh, okay.
I mean, you don't have to go there now.
No, we'll go there now. So here's
Because I'm a harp player.
Yes, and you live through your fingers.
Yes, I do. I always have.
Okay.
Even before I was a harp player, my fingers are really important to me.
Yes. All right. Physiology, evolutionary biology.
You talk to me. I'm going to stand back here. You just
Okay.
talk over here.
So the reason we have a core is not to do sit-ups on the floor, but the reason we have a core, this is just a power system in the middle of us. And it's 40% of our body weight. It's not like a tiny thing. It's a huge thing. Is to power the fingers and to power the toes. Even though it's been about 1 million years since we've lived there, we're designed to live and be born in trees. The reason we have this power system is so we can grab branches and pull ourselves up. So you ask, what's the connection of the fingers? The connection of the fingers is the reason we have a core is to power the fingers. The reason we have a trunk is to move our hands someplace where they can climb, or in your case, play, which is sort of a modern version of climbing, and see the world and experience the world, as well as the toes. We put our feet in place and the core powers that. When that connection from core to finger is disrupted, when that connection from core to toe is disrupted, we age. There are compensations that materialize that disrupt what we call posture, just our effectiveness of moving around in gravity. And those compensations are what leads to constrictions in blood supply and nerve supply, digestive tract, ability to even move white blood cells around, our susceptibility to disease. So connecting the fingers and the toes to the core is how we're going to solve all your problems. And I have toys that I've made that get us there. I have special exercises that we've designed that get us there. So what we're going to do with you in the immediate hours is make your shoulders fabulous, get you to be the real Deborah and powerful as a consequence of it. Then your job is play. Get out there. And then we give you a vehicle that you can do that with.
Adam, can we just stop for 1 second?
Yes.
You've never done video. You've never said these things on video.
Not really.
This
on
is
purpose.
like so great, and this stuff that you're having is just, it's so.
Oh no,
it's so great.
We can be game changers here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's exciting.
And I've been playing my little game over in Dedham in Newton for
right.
25
Yeah.
years.
Oh yeah, right.
Hello YouTube.
I know.
So we'll do some simple stuff and then we'll do some complex stuff.
Okay.
Fingers. Give me your fingers. Give me a pull. Can you feel your abdominal muscles?
I feel like my toes are actually a little bit. I can not so much.
Great. So we're establishing connections. This is sort of just the first initial part of evaluation. And left fingers. Give me a pull. Can you feel your abdominals?
I think so.
But no, it's not 5-alarm.
No, but I
obvious
do
to you.
feel like I'm about to fall over, and I feel my hips shifting. I feel all kinds of awkwardness, which is great. I mean, it's great to feel all that.
We're identifying stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a little measurement.
Okay.
We'll do it in front of the camera here. I'm assuming you're not shy.
No, I'm not shy.
All right. I am measuring your pelvic angles. So what I am looking for here is just sort of the hanging angle of your pelvis, and whatever. Get into what that is. But I'm looking at a relatively steep 45-degree angle. So left is 45. Let's spin you around, please. And right side also about 45 degrees. If you want to know what I'm doing, I'm just checking a couple bony prominences. So basically, your posture, it ain't your shoulders, it's not your feet, it's not your head, it's that.
Okay, cool.
How is the pelvis hanging? That's the center of gravity.
Okay.
And then based on that, everything else takes its cue. So if you have forward shoulders that you don't like, that's why hiking back your shoulders doesn't work, because your shoulders are just reacting to where your center of gravity is. All right, so quick posture lesson.
Okay. Right.
Pelvis.
Come over here.
Okay.
And let's see. Just cheat out there so anybody can see you. I mean, we can do this over again. But
Whatever.
I'll just cheat it out. Yeah.
If I was not doing this, I'd be working on you and talking at the same time.
Do it.
Let's go.
Okay.
Don't mind me.
Okay, just move me around.
Okay. You'll feel some pressure sensitivity.
Okay, yep.
So pelvis is Greek, and it means bowl, like a bowl of soup. Kind of looks like a bowl. And in the human pelvis, in a place where we can move well, we're pain-free, we can balance well, the pelvic bowl is tilted at 20 degrees forward. In other words, if it's a bowl of soup, there's soup.
Oh, just about.
Yeah, there's soup coming out the front of the bowl.
Okay.
In your situation, the pelvis is tilted a little bit steeply. There's a whole ton of soup coming out.
Oh, okay.
And you're unusual because your left and your right are the same.
Okay.
So that's the nature of our issue. In order to get your shoulders right, we have to get you to this magic 20 and 20 degree hang
Okay, cool.
of the pelvis.
Great.
Now, most people, in kind of typical, in today's lifestyle, of a forward-seated lifestyle, have a backwards tilted pelvis. And the soup goes out the back of the pelvis. And then most people
Huh.
will have soup running backwards more on the left and maybe forward on the right, and that's when you're on.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah, so before we can even, and we have to exercise. We love exercise, but just exercising doesn't work. You have to exercise catered towards what your specific posture is. And these numbers, 45 and 45, these are as critical to your health as your heart rate, your cholesterol level, your blood pressure. This is your future.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a piece of data that everyone's got to know about themselves. Blood type, whatever. I mean,
Right.
these are critical pieces of data.
So I'm feeling a little bit of, I mean, I don't mind it, it feels good, but so I'm feeling, you know, like little pains, and that's and that's because, is it because?
It is because in order for you to see the world, your upper body has to make a compensation to make up for that 45-degree hang.
Oh.
So which squeezes out blood supply, which has an energetic cost. That's why you might feel tired, because just going from point A to point B is no longer efficient. We're trying to restore the efficiency of your movement. And our game plan is going to be correct that hip hang. When that hip hang is correct, then all of a sudden we have the fabulous shoulders. We've arrived at this ideal posture. Now it's aesthetically pleasing to look at. We know it when we see it. What you may not know is what looks good actually is healthy, because the bony prominences, like this bump behind your ear, and this bump on your shoulder, and this bump on your hip, and this bump at your knee, and this bump at your ankle, they stack up on top of each other. And now your skeleton is opposing gravity for you, instead of the muscles opposing gravity.
Right.
So there's all this excess function left to learn stuff and do stuff and be fast and play tennis and climb things and perform. You're not paying a high tax for gravity.
Right.
So it's
Gravity tax.
Yes, the gravity tax, exactly. So it's not so much you get strong as all hell, as strong as you can get. You get strong enough so that symmetrically you can pull your skeleton to this ideal space, and then you just move well.
That's great. So you're more effective, and you
Yes.
kill the gravity tax.
Your skeleton is able to. Skeletons love gravity. Muscles hate gravity. So all the muscles have to do is be strong enough to
Oh, I see.
puppeteer the skeleton into an ideal spot.
Right. Why do the skeleton like gravity?
Because skeletons need stress. And it's the slight bending of the bone under the stress that triggers the body to start depositing calcium and magnesium and phosphorus.
So they need it to feel alive and to keep alive. And
gravity nourishes a skeleton.
Wow.
And gravity taxes the crap out of the musculature.
Wow. And is that true, like, for running, or only for weights, or?
For running, for everything, yes.
For anything in which you experience gravity.
Correct. So posture, if we're going to define...
Except for gaining weight, which probably isn't helpful.
Well, it's stressful.
But it's probably good for your bones. But I'm not suggesting it. Never mind. Let's not go down that road.
In other words, if you have ideal posture and you gain weight, I guess it's okay. But with compromised posture, ideal weight, it's hostile. Running with ideal posture, good. Running with crappy posture is just traumatizing and stressful. Which is why we don't see tons of 70-year-old runners running around. We could, if their posture was nourished. So posture is almost like tire pressure in a car. If someone has 30 pounds of posture pressure, there's a sag and it's difficult to operate the machine. If we just juice things up to 35 pounds of posture power, then you have a green light to go do stuff.
Great.
Yeah. So we're just
Excellent.
So strategically.
Okay. And we're going to do it standing, and then
we're going to do it standing.
I want to see what it looks like with the heart on too, and then sitting.
Oh,
so important.
Oh, fine. Fabulous. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe not if we don't have time today, we can do it another time.
Sure.
Okay.
So what we got to do now is get your posture connected to your toes and your posture connected to your fingers. Can we grab a chair? Can we grab that chair over there? Yeah. Any chair will do.
Maybe this chair's better.
It's a lovely chair. Yes. Try to knock over 20 things.
It might squeak, but it's pretty good. Which direction?
I guess facing towards me, please. And this is where we'll start.
Okay, I'm going to make sure that this is... Okay, great. In the middle of this, I think
we're going to turn your core, but we're going to connect it to the periphery.
Okay.
So give me the fingers, please. I want you to push your left leg to the left and pull the fingers. Can you feel your core kick on?
Here?
I'll take it. Yes, so that's the mechanism.
And I feel nothing here, actually.
Okay, whatever. We're just kind of getting your brain to see this operating system.
Okay.
Left fingers pull, right leg goes to the right. Can you feel the core kick on?
Yeah, right. I think, I don't know what my core is, but I guess I'll know by the end of this.
Right, right. Yeah, no, the core is tricky because a core is not a body part. There's no core in the anatomy book. It's like saying a sneeze is a body part. So like a core is not a piece of our anatomy. It's an amalgam of anatomy doing something at the same time.
It's a condition. Right. Okay. Interesting. All right. That's great. That's great. It's not a condition. It's something else. We'll figure it out.
Well, it's something anatomy does.
It's a function.
Yes, and that what that so literally, we're going to frame the core. We're going to give it some names, geographically.
Okay.
I think of it as a central core and a peripheral core. So the central core, the thing we think about, the middle.
Yeah.
It's actually sort of a beach ball. It's spherical.
Okay.
And there's stuff in the middle. The top of it is the diaphragm. The bottom is the pelvic floor and all those muscles. You get some abs in the front. There's a bunch of layers of those. In the back, you have hip flexors and piriformis and stuff like that. When those muscles collectively compress, they squish the insides, which is mostly intestines, but it's blood, it's water. It has the viscosity of mercury. Kind of gross. But it's our squishy liquid center.
Wow.
So, so when this peripheral surface of muscle decides to compress, go from say the volume of a basketball down to the volume of a volleyball, and it increases hydraulic pressures inside of the intestines, you are now in a core state. You have formed this pressurized ball in the middle.
And it makes me burp.
Core state, yes, highly suggestive. Yes, happily, it was just a burp.
Right.
Could always be worse. Let it shine there. So here's the magic. So that's the peripheral core, but that doesn't matter. If we can just squish here, who cares? Because we need it to get over here. Coming off the core are flaps of this connective tissue called fascia. You might have heard of that expression. And the reason fascia is important is because it conducts the power that's generated here out to here. Correct. So when this thing compresses, it has flaps of connective tissue that will turn my hand into a solid weapon or something I can climb with. Just my fingers alone are not going to lift me into a tree. It'll rip my fingers off. But when the fingers assume core state, when the core compresses, and the fascia that weaves through the rib cage and into the rotator cuff and down the arm and out to the palm of the hand actually compress, now I have a lot of power over here. The act of doing that happens to actually rotate the shoulders, and here I am. So if I want your shoulders to be fabulous, I got to get you into core state. Okay. So finger, pull, press. Can you feel the abdominals kick on?
Feel them right there.
I'll take it. So we're simulating what being in a tree is like. So my fall prevention program, for example, I'm not going to prevent falls. We don't try to prevent falls. We try to make somebody better at climbing stuff. So we're increasing climbing reflexes. And the secondary effect of that is you're able to assert balance. You're able to stabilize yourself in gravity. Because the opposite of falling is climbing. So I don't make you worse at falling. I make you better at climbing by taking your fingers, pretending we're in a tree, and you pull. Can you feel the abdominals kick on?
Oh, I see.
Ideally, the stress in the fingers, yes, what the fingers are for. The fingers are sensory devices that tell us what the hell's happening in the world. My finger gets stretched and loaded. The core says, holy cow, we're going to dislocate quick. Assume core state. Boop, compression. Tension in the tendons of the fingers. My finger's not going to dislocate anymore.
Now, is core state a word you came up with? Or
yes.
Is that
Yes.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. So core is funny because it's both anatomy and a thing the anatomy does, at the same time. That's why we're left with English to describe complex things. That's why exercise is not as successful as it could be, because we literally don't have the language for it. So I say, most people think core, oh yeah, those ridgy things in the front of us, that must be my core. It's not. It's a sphere of muscles that weighs, I'm 180 pounds, 40% of that, so it's a 72-pound beach ball filled with mercury that compresses on itself.
It weighs 72 pounds? Like if you weigh 140 pounds, it weighs 72 pounds?
In other words, it's roughly 40% of our body weight.
Wow.
So if you're $140, we're looking at 56 pounds. So the core is a beast. It's not like, oh, I'm going to strengthen my core. Oh, no. This is 40% of our body. And so, and then furthermore, as soon as this happens, where, This only happens
By the
when...
way, that doesn't happen for me.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure. I thought my fly was...
No,
Okay.
but that particular thing never.
Correct, but but in other words, to get there,
Uh-huh.
it's not that I'm staying on one foot and hoping nothing happens. I'm assuming core state from core to the right foot. I'm assuming core state from core to the left foot. I'm assuming core state from core to finger. I'm assuming core state from core to this finger. And I have a union of core state going on. In case you're wondering, there's a Sanskrit word for union, yoga.
Huh. Oh, really?
Yeah, so yoga's not just like the see-through pants and all the bullshit that goes with it. It's actually the state.
Never seen see-through pants.
Well, nobody has. You see right through it. But it's the state you're supposed to assume. You practice getting into this particular state. That's your yoga practice, your union practice. So there's a lot to yoga.
That's great.
Yeah, beyond all the little aphorisms you get from the
Oh yeah.
Sufi poets.
Okay, so that's great. So what I'm hearing you say is that when you do that thing that you did,
Yes.
which I was just like, I could never do that, but you were, instead of you having your leg out and you're standing on one foot and your arm out and your head up, you were doing one thing, which was assuming core state, and from core state you can do anything.
That's how humans perform. Yes. The core is aptly named that it's a power source, but that power source has to get distributed to the fingers and get distributed to the toes. When that connection is somehow broken anywhere along the line, could be the calf, could be the quad, whatever, we start to get postural changes, adaptations or maladaptations or compensations. The accumulation of these compensations is the aging process. You asked, why am I aging? I mean, yeah, birth date, driver's license, fine, you're aging. But does the body have to fail along with you? No. It's going to happen eventually, but if we can keep you at the party, I try to give people 10 more years. I think I can give them 20. And what we do is keep the core connected to the fingers, the core connected to the toes. And that's our process. We're doing it now.
Well, let me ask you something. So people who are doing something like playing the harp, especially like at an older age, how does that keep them young? I mean, that may not be a relevant question for
It's a
right
great
now.
question. Yes.
And why and how?
Okay. I mean, so just the mental stimulation to the brain keeps you young. You're ahead of the game in the first place. The fact that, and I don't know anything about the harp,
Right.
but especially your harp that you're carrying,
Right, yeah.
Good Lord. The fact there's a physical interaction involved is tremendous. The fact that the core, which has its own dedicated nervous system, the enteric plexus or the solar plexus.
I'm listening to you and I'm pulling this video down. This one down, sorry. Which I shouldn't be doing, but I am. Because this is, okay, I'm thinking, part of what I'm hearing here
Yes.
is I'm like, okay, this is like 5 different videos, all of which are going to be really fascinating to certainly, my audience.
If we were to come up with a multi-pronged plan to keep people young,
Yeah.
and actually save the healthcare system,
That'd be
learning
cool.
how to play harp, because it's physical, because it's mental, all at the same time, because the fingers are involved in your harp where you're using the feet and balance at the same time.
Well, and on a pedal harp, people are coordinating it. I'll show you in a little
I can't think of anything more nutritious.
I can't either.
Yeah, right.
Okay, and then learning to sing and play, even better.
And if you're chewing gum.
Yeah. All right. Okay. It's beyond anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So let's start getting you connected.
All right.
Oh, forgive me here. So there's basically 2 things I do with people.
What, you think it's going to hurt?
Yes.
Okay.
Doesn't
All right.
hurt.
Not horribly.
Good. 2 things I do with
I
people
want to make sure that it can be seen. Okay, great. Yeah.
is a little bit of deep tissue work. We can talk about what deep tissue work is and how it works. And then connecting the core to the periphery.
If we are going to do deep tissue work, I'm going to go up and go to the bathroom before we do, just letting you know.
Yes. Fine. It's usually a chicken and egg situation.
Yeah. Oh.
Right. Let's do the chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's show the camera. Okay, so we got a core.
Camera. So now the camera can. I'm going to make. Shall I make the camera?
Core.
Are you going to be?
The reason we have a core is to get power to this, the base of the big toe.
Wow.
Yeah, our 60 billion year old machinery is meant to attach itself to the trunk of a tree.
Wow.
And right here, you want a magic secret spot in the aging process?
Wow. Really?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to make the camera go down so they can see. And then one of these times we'll have an actual camera operator.
And don't be shy. You have to go to the bathroom. I mean,
No, I will in a minute.
Sunoco station
I
down
was
the
just
street.
thinking as you were doing this, I was like, wow, that seems to be good for like, making things move too.
There's no doubt about it.
Wow.
Yes. There's a reason your dog poops and you take it for a walk. It's the motion. And then if we're gonna, I mean, and again, I'm avoiding the deep
Yeah.
inside baseball anatomy, but the ileocecal valve, that magic part of the intestines that makes things go, the actual.
The one your grandmother asked you about. Like, how's the ileocecal? What is it?
That doesn't bear right. Exactly. The old fashioned. It's where your small intestine becomes your large intestine.
And what's it called? The
ileocecal valve.
Oh, I see. So your grandmother would say, so how's your ileocecal valve going?
It's where the poop gets through.
Oh, it does go?
Yes.
Oh, wow, cool.
It inserts into the inside face of the sacroiliac joint, the part of us that actually starts to slide up and down when we move. So movement is nutrition.
That's great.
Yes, which means that lack of movement, constrictions, make us unwell. So everything we're doing, and the movement I'm talking about is not go out and go for a run. That's a big movement.
Right.
The little movement is, can your core constrict rhythmically?
Yeah, I was just talking to a dancer who I'm friends with, and she was talking about micro movements, but we don't have to talk about that.
Well, we're talking about micro movements.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's another, it's either an exciting thing or a depressing thing as far as aging is concerned. Because the depressing thing is that millimeters of constriction have profound effect on us, so we're screwed. How the hell can we defend ourselves from millimeters of constriction? However, if we feel yucky, it's only millimeters of release that can make us better. So if we know the tiny little tricks for the millimeters to be freed, we can defend ourselves. And we know that we're hitting those proper millimeters when you sensationalize this core compression, which we're trying to get your brain connected to.
Okay, got it.
So here's this magic point to the foot. I want you to squish my fingers. Squish, like you're putting out a cigarette butt. Yes. Can you feel your abdominals kick on?
So not good at that.
No.
I kind of can. Yeah, a little bit. Just right down here.
We're gonna make it. This is you learning a new piece of music.
Wow.
You don't get it right away.
Only this is the piece of music. Wow.
Yeah, give me the fingers. Pull.
Oh, now
drop.
I feel them more.
Yes, muzzle toe.
Oh,
So,
right.
core, Deborah, core.
Yeah.
You guys are being
Hi.
acquainted with each other.
Hi, nice to meet you.
This is how we fix your forward shoulders.
Huh.
Pull. So this is how you prevent falls. Someone can be in the confines of a chair. We're going to enable them with the raw materials that allow them to adjust well in gravity. And all we have to do is make them good at climbing, which is to trick their brain to thinking they're sticking themselves to a tree. Press this base of the toe into my fingers, press. Yep, beautiful. And then if you want to do something fun, take your left hand up in the air and open the fingers. Lovely. Drive this down. And how?
Oh, wow. So I feel.
Sing. Give me a do, re, mi.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Do.
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 Drive this toe down.
Toe.
Yes.
Toe.
But you can feel the constriction in the core as you're doing this.
Yeah, if I don't, yeah. Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So what we're teaching you, not such a strong core, but a strong core to toe connection.
Wow.
And then you can always kickstart your own mechanisms just by knowing where to press your foot in the floor. And your shoulders look superb right now. You just stand up. Now we did about 20 seconds of actual therapy. Up you go. How does planet Earth feel? Hard to say. We got the camera going.
I see what you mean. Wow, it's interesting.
But you might be dizzy, nauseous.
Yeah, no, it's no, it's funny. I feel like I'm not trying to stand up straight, but there's like something in me that's like, I don't know.
Okay, good, well put. Right, you're not trying to stand up straight.
Right. I also feel like my head is like has to go like like that to look at you.
Okay.
Which is really interesting. Like, I really have to like, oh.
So what we did was we compressed the core from what we did. That's when the magic happens. The core inserts, like I don't want to get too inside baseball, but the core literally inserts across the hip ball and socket joint. When you're in that state, you've been feeling the core, it lifts the intestines and it frees this little ball and socket mechanism.
Here.
Yes. Right there.
So now if we're going to stand up, I'm going to make this up again. We're going to stand up.
Oh, no, I was going to do this some more.
Yeah, I'd love to do it more.
Sit down.
That's great.
We're going from sitting to standing. So essentially, Put the core. Oh, drive this. Actually, I guess I want this guy.
Well, how does somebody learn to do what you're doing?
Haha. We can watch the video.
Yeah.
Press this down, please. Pull, 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 pull. But yes, this information has got to go mainstream because, oh, look at you. Fabulous shoulders. And you can feel the core materialize.
Well, it's feeling very different than it did before, I think, because you have a different hand, or is it the same hand?
It's different. Press the base of the toe down. Pull, pull, pull. Fingers. Can you feel the core light up?
Yeah, it feels like it's almost pushing out.
I'll take anything. Pull, drive. Yes. Can you feel the core ignite?
Yeah, I can.
Good.
And I can feel that it's in both my back and my front. At first I just felt that it was my front.
Yes, the core is spherical.
Right.
So as this lights up, you will feel the entirety of the
Wow,
sphere.
so I'll actually feel it up this and down there
Oh,
too.
you will.
Wow.
Yes, it goes to the pubic bone.
Wow.
It reaches up to the heart. I mean, the expanse of the core
Wow.
is massive, massive. I mean, we're up here, T12, something like that. Oh, and more. The ninth rib. I mean, there's a reason that a baseball swing.
I thought you were gonna dance.
Well, I am in a sense. I mean, everything is dance. You know, a golf swing, a baseball swing. You know, a proper kick, pop, a punch. You know, why is there footwork in boxing? It's because the core is universal. It's powering the toes, which accelerates the hips, which pulls along the rotator cuff, release of power,
Wow.
wherever you want it to be. So I call it climbing. You can call it dancing, whatever the case may be. If we want to keep ourselves young or prevent falls, we restore this universality of the core. We teach people how to get a core state of foot, a core state of finger.
It's funny.
Let's keep going.
Okay.
Fingers.
You're gonna stand up. I'm gonna put the video up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I'll crank it up, sure. Now, but we've just done like really less than a minute of actual work.
Right.
How do the shoulders feel? Or hard to say?
I know. It's hard to say.
Okay. Da-da, da-da. Knees. Uncross your hands. Yes. Separate the knees. Lovely. Can you feel the abdominals kick on?
Okay. Yeah, I can feel it like in the middle.
Yes. So that
Okay.
we're stressing the fingers. We're stressing the hips. The core is saying, holy cow, I'm going to dislocate my stuff. I've got to jump in and compress this way.
Can we try that again?
Yes.
I think I was spending a lot of time out here.
Get the elbows in like so. There you go. So they're in towards the rib cage.
Sorry, that's really funny. Just in terms of
Yep, elbows are heading towards the rib cage. There you go. Pull, pull, pull. Drive, drive, drive. Can you feel the abdominals?
Yeah.
Cool. Now comes the deep tissue work. Let's say that our posture has not been ideal for a while. This is where things get tricky.
Okay.
Muscle memories materialize. Because you wake up in the morning, you're Deborah. You don't think, okay, wait, well, my head's here. Okay, now I'm Deborah. These are all habitualized and burned into the subconscious mind, essentially, the basal ganglia and the brainstem. So we go and do these things. What makes it tricky, and the reason everyone isn't just fabulous, like we can turn 60 into 40 on a mass scale. We can turn 85 into 65 on a mass scale. But it's not simple. We have the drills, that's the first part. And the second part is through the power of touch, and that's what deep tissue work is this re-education of the tissues, or it's a scrambling of the muscle memories. I'm just squishing you. And I have a toy I keep in my pocket. I'll go any place with this. People use foam rollers. I don't like foam rollers. Don't tell anybody. 50-cent rubber ball. In a canvas bag, which is pretty indestructible. And essentially what I'm doing all the time is rewiring my tissues with a touch of deep tissue work. This scrambles up a muscle memory. This makes me open to the suggestion of the exercise. So this is how you exercise. Now exercise just means beneficial stress. Stress that makes us better.
That's not what the word means. I mean, that's just what it means. It's not like that's not the etymology or anything. That's just,
No. Like, where does it come from?
Okay, all right. So it's beneficial stress.
Right. Yes. Like the bard said, "Thou stressest beneficial." No, exercise. But if you think of it, like, if your back hurts, your feet hurt, you run on the treadmill, it's not exercise. You're knocking the bejesus out of yourself. But if we do this deep tissue work first, open up the tissues, allow you amenable to change shape, then it becomes exercise. So most people are not doing exercise. They're stressing themselves. Now we have a conscience that tells us we should be doing something. We're right. Go for a run. Yeah. Good idea. But we can really turn it into exercise if we actually connect your fingers to your core, connect your toes to the core, do a splash of deep tissue work to make sure the tissues can change shape, then you run. Then we have something that's very nourishing and makes you younger, or as I like to call it, euthanizing.
Maybe not.
No,
Good.
boys at marketing. Okay. Yeah. I guess you got a point.
Oh, I'm sure we can come up with something.
Yeah, it's probably
Gross.
Right, so better. This is a great hot spot in the human body. This
Yeah.
outer aspect. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This connects your core to your foot. So if we're going to fix your shoulders or prevent falls, for anybody, we have got to get pretty damn good at deep tissue work, this outer aspect of the upper shin.
So while somebody's doing this kind of stuff, they're also working with somebody who is doing or they do it on their
When I'm training people and I want to
Yeah.
make someone into a super independent self-care weapon, they're learning finger to core and toe to core, and they're learning to become a surgeon with this thing.
That looks more like
Some
what do
kind
they
of
call it?
flagellant to smack yourself.
No. Like what do you call it? Samurai.
Oh, samurai.
It's more like a, it's I don't know, like
Okay.
a cowboy plus a.
Right,
Anyway,
okay.
whatever. It doesn't matter.
So let's go more San Francisco. But yeah,
Yeah.
I see where you're going with this thing. So let's get you up. Let's see how dynamite you are.
Okay.
Yeah, how does planet Earth feel to you?
Planet Earth feels more connected to my feet, especially my big toe. Although my hammer, or whatever it is, my
Yeah.
toe, my satellite toe,
Mhm.
that's like doesn't know where to go.
Right.
I mean, I'm assuming you can't fix that in one day,
No, I can't. But we can stop the migration in its tracks.
and we can head it in the other direction.
I don't know if we can head in the other direction.
It'll be always in a satellite toe.
Perhaps, but we can stop it from taking over and becoming ruinous.
Okay, good.
So what I'm going to measure now is we measured the hips earlier. It was 45 degrees.
How can you tell?
Okay, so there's a bony prominence right over
Okay,
here. And these are just landmarks every human being has. And there's a
Right.
bony prominence over
Oh
here.
yeah. Okay.
And with my fingers, I just can kind of eyeball
Uh-huh.
the steepness of the angle. So on the right, we're still looking around 45 degrees. Let's spin you around, please. And on the left, yes, it's still about 45. A little bit of deep tissue work.
I've made no progress.
I wouldn't say that necessarily, but I mean, it's...
But no, I'm a good challenge.
Well, so the things we're going to test, I mean, the shoulder hang is something we can test. Balance is something we can test. Does pain go away is something we can test. And again, we're just
I'm just
getting
gonna
rolling.
turn my body so I'm not gonna have my butt to the camera. to see
Certainly.
that. Okay.
All right. The next step would be a little bit of deep tissue work
Okay.
over
Yeah.
there.
How would we do that?
A million ways.
Okay.
I know we're going to be off camera for a second. Just walk forward.
Okay.
Then let's spin you around. Let's walk backwards. Then let's spin you around.
That's fine.
Oh, by the way, can you feel the pressure sensitivity, outer aspect?
Yeah. Yeah, but I like it's great.
It's-
Wow. Oh my
it's
god.
huge. We
So
are.
you're like
I'm restoring the tissue
Wow.
versatility of the hip external rotators. So in
wow.
other words, what
So I've been holding that really stiff.
but you can't help it. You can't help holding that really stiff.
Wow.
It's been compensating for the steepness of the pelvic angle.
Wow.
We jumped in and through our finger to core work, we made the ball and socket a splash more mobile.
Is dancing a part of this thing? Is like Latin dancing a part of your thing? Because it seems like it should be.
Any movement of the human body that works well has hip movement involved. That's where the power materializes from.
Okay.
So whether it's golf or climbing,
Yeah.
whatever you like
Yeah.
to do,
Wow.
or just being pain-free.
Yep.
Here's an analogy you're gonna love. Sit down, please. And we're gonna do more finger to core as we talk. So we're gonna take the word hip, just to give you a sense of what it is, because we talked about a core.
You know, my hip is like, it's part of my website, hip harp.
Love it. Cool. Pull. Like hip hop. But your hip hop. Got
I
it.
don't play hip hop.
Pull. Oh, can you feel the abdominals kick on?
I can feel them on the left.
I'll take anything. Lovely. Okay, hip. This is a hip. Pull. Because you know what a core is now. I mean, a core weighs 40 pounds. It's spherical and filled with mercury. This is your hip. You go to the supermarket. Oh, I'm just doing some new tissue. You get the wire cart. You put stuff in the cart. You're up and down the aisles. Fabulous. Unless one of those little spinny wheels has a little bit of gunk on it, the whole disposition of the whole thing is out the window. That cart is 99% perfect.
Right.
That one tiny junction, that's the human hip in a human body.
Wow.
Yes. So you're 99% fabulous. A tiny bit of stick inside one of those spinny hip joints, and is compensation city afterwards. So let's take the word hip and throw it out the window. Let's call it the supermarket cart. So when I see a 45-degree angle left and right on you, we have two slightly sticky supermarket cartwheels. So the way we free up those supermarket cartwheels is by turning on the core compression. That's what lifts the intestines, frees the ball and socket mechanism, and you have an entirely new standing strategy.
So I've been taking that whole 50 pounds or 40 and just sticking it right on it. Right?
Essentially, yes. The tilt of the pelvis freezes the mobility of the core. There's your micro movements. That thing you just go up and down a little bit, millimeters. But that critical bunch of millimeters allows the ball and socket
so what
to
would
swivel.
Just out of curiosity, what would happen if I lost weight? What would happen if I did core exercises like sit-ups? Would that give me any kind of help for this?
I can give that a definite
Really?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's nice, but you know, let's use smart bombs instead of grenades. Smart bombs. In other words, let's go specifically after the mechanism that we want. Pull, pull, pull. Drive this toe. Can you feel the core kick on?
Okay, now I can.
Lovely. Take the left hand overhead. Straight overhead, like you're wondering what the bathroom is. Yes. Look at the ceiling and slowly turn the head left to right. Yes. So now we have core operating the head, core operating the left fingers, core operating the right fingers, core operating the left toes. Can you feel the core kick on?
I can feel it.
Fabulous. So when you're in that state, you're in the core state.
It also felt like my arm was not, it was like it could just kind of go up and up and up and up and up.
Because your arm is no longer compensating for the sticky supermarket cartwheel. You're sitting up through the mobile supermarket cartwheel. So fixing your shoulders is really fixing a sticky supermarket cartwheel. Fixing those toes is fixing a sticky supermarket cartwheel. Preventing falls is fixing a sticky supermarket cartwheel.
And making sure that everything doesn't fall out of it.
Of the car. Yeah, I guess we can go with this cart thing. Yeah. But that's the let's see here. Yeah, okay, we'll go this way. Yep, drive down. Hard until the core kicks on. So you're using the bottom of the foot as the sensory device. You have arrived and you can feel the compression in the middle. Any kind of protrusion in the middle is just going to kind of get pulled back in by the abdominal wall. Pull, pull, pull. Take the right arm overhead. Look left, look right. Can you feel the abdominals engage? Oh yeah, and if you breathe, we have that piece
that
of the...
too?
We have that piece of the core engaged. This is how you fix forward shoulders.
Now, how do you get somebody to do this with you every day?
You're either Oprah and have an entourage and get someone to come and do this. But we get exercises from the chair that you can learn how to do this. Relatively simple.
Okay, cool.
We just have the luxury of being able to get into underlying mechanisms. But let's see you stand up. How does planet Earth feel? Hard to say.
Oh, it feels like there's a little bit more, it feels like I got more, not more body parts, but more bone parts.
Yeah, you can adjust shape a little bit more cleanly, I would say.
Yeah,
lovely.
what do I see?
Let's measure. So we have our 45-degree hang. I know America wants me to say that it's diminished.
But it isn't.
It is. I mean, it's not. Yeah, it is. It is. I mean,
well, what if I did this? Is it diminished now? Did I?
Oh, you mean if you exaggerate it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would mess with it, but essentially.
There's no point in doing that.
Yeah, there's no point in doing it. In other words, when one is standing, there's an ideal way to stand.
Are you saying that this is an awareness thing?
No.
Okay.
I'm saying that we feed you stresses, beneficial stresses, exercises. The adaptations to those exercises leave you with an ideal physique and form that leads to safety and painlessness, and most importantly, the ability to grow. I can now teach you new stuff. When we want to do a handstand, or learn how to do a golf swing, or even learn how to play the harp, you've now predisposed your nervous system to adapt. And if the passage of time can make you better at the stresses that life throws at you, you're young. If getting older is making you better, you're young. I try to feed people the stresses that leave them in this youth state. And it's a state, it's fleeting.
And you're like 85, right?
I'm 100, yeah, exactly. I'm 47 and a half. All right, America. I think we can see this pretty cleanly.
Who's America?
Oh, I don't know. Whoever's watching our video, YouTube. But anyways, we saw like this. There's not the same 45-degree angle on the left side.
Really?
No, God no. I'm looking at about a 20-degree angle.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's temporary, but if we train you the right
Now
stuff.
my hip is all like, I'm doing a really great job.
Yes. Well, yeah. Oh, powerful. We have a supermarket cartwheel that works.
All right.
Go for the walk, even just around here. Get used to planet Earth with a supermarket cartwheel that's actually working. You have a whole different standing strategy.
Now, I feel like, I'm not trying to do this, but I feel, if I were to exaggerate it, I feel like I'm standing like this. I'm not trying to.
Right.
Do I look weird?
Does it feel weird?
No, it just feels different.
Yeah, it's different because you now have range of motion inside the ball and socket that's allowing you to get up and see the world. Now, what messes us up is that your rotator cuff, your neck,
Right.
has muscle memory associated with a
Right.
45-degree hang.
Right.
I have to rewire. But you can see the collarbone pop up. You're getting ideal. Now I have to rewire the rotator cuff. Hey,
That
rotator cuff.
definitely hurts.
Oh, hell,
don't stop, but yeah.
Oh yeah, no, your rotator
Wow.
cuff has been lifting up to see Spy
Wow.
Pond this whole time.
Right.
Where now the ball and socket is doing that for you. Now we're going to relieve the rotator cuff of that stress. Now the rotator cuff is less susceptible to an injury.
Huh.
Our scalene muscle has been adapting, compensating for the sticky supermarket cartwheels. Hey boys, guess what? Different angle of the pelvis. Could you kindly assume a new resting state of tension?
Who's the boys? The
The scaling. It's my band.
Yeah.
The scalings. Yeah, I have an anatomy base.
No, that's good.
Yeah,
So those are like the
the sternocleidomastoids. Like on Friday, the Middle East.
sternocleidomastoids.
Yeah.
I just know like what is sternocleidomastoids? So like watch out.
Hello, Utica. That's right. Let's give a standing ovation for Poock Coxicius. Yeah, they have a whole thing going on. Fibularis, you rock. Mastoid process. All right, well.
Blah 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 blah.
That's right.
Mastoid process, is that the eating? No, what's mastoid process? Oh, that's like a thing that sticks out?
It's
It's like, is it like this?
a band. It's,
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a band.
and a bony prominence in the skull. Yep. Battle of the anatomy bands. Rubbery.
Wow, that hurts because it's,
I think it hurts because it's a part of your, with sticky hips, to see the world, up goes the rotator cuff.
right.
So that's why people have this upper back pain they just can't
Yeah,
shake, because they're using their upper back to see what's going on in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing what's going on in front of them is more important than upper back pain.
Well, see, now I noticed that you look like a monkey in a really good way. I mean, that your body is like a monkey, like it's just like every part is just like does what it wants to do. I remember when I was a kid, as a kid, people saying, you're jutting your chin out like that. I don't know, this has nothing to do with being a monkey, except that your head seems to be like just wherever it wants to be versus.
Yes, right. And that happens even as a kid, because you've been this way since you were 13. I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a very, very good compensator. Fabulous compensator. Stop. Don't. But eventually that catches up with us, and now I want 20 more years. All right, cool, fine, great. Let's get this online.
Okay.
And to me, the majesty of the human body is, it's not the Olympics, it's not the ballet, it's Burger King. Yes, that someone can eat that low octane garbage and still survive. So basically, at any stage of the game, I don't care how old you are, if we start feeding you proper nutritious stresses, the body's going to eat it up.
It's like recovering.
Yes, but there's 60 million years of evolution behind us. We want to be well. We're hungry to be well. We're hungry for these stresses. If we just feed this 60 million year old system the proper stresses, it's gonna roar. But now you're standing beautifully. I don't know if you can.
I can't tell.
Sensationalize it.
I
Okay.
can't tell. But I am gonna change this. Okay. Neurotically, yes, that's on. Okay.
But at this point, I mean, now it's like when we get into performance testing.
Okay, I'm ready to performance test.
Okay.
Love performance testing. Oh, God. Well, whatever. It's not going to be perfect. All right, so.
Okay, so
Okay,
what
performance
would
testing.
what would be a performance test?
Performance test would be this.
Wearing suspenders?
A harness.
Okay. Of your own design.
It is my own design, yeah.
Deborah the tailor.
Well, I worked it out with a physical comedian, actually.
Gallagher?
No, Alex Feldman.
Oh, okay.
Who's Gallagher?
The other physical comedian. He blows up the watermelon.
I don't know who that is. All right, so I've got here. We won't even play this. I'll unplug it, so we won't even have any sound.
How do you feel?
Well, the harp felt lighter. That was really funny when we
Okay.
lifted it up.
So let's say I'm you. I mean, I just want to
Yeah, sure. Oh, I should put this on you actually at some point.
turn your feet in. I want you to press the weight through
Okay.
this aspect of the foot, right? Yes. Can you feel your core kick on?
Kind of, yeah.
Tune into it. Play with that. But in other words, now I know when this is turned on, when you can sensationalize this, that action is grabbing the intestines, lifting them, leaving me supermarket cartwheels that can move.
I mean, I'm really focusing hard on that part of my foot right now. So
At the moment,
yeah.
okay, so be it.
Right.
But with time, it habituates. Then your body is learning. Okay, I've just stumbled across an ideal way, a mechanically ideal way to perform something, and then becomes a part of you. Becomes a part of your posture. And then when it comes to training time, what do I do when I'm not playing harp? How do I prepare myself to be super Deborah so I can get out and perform?
Yeah.
Your exercises would be things like, okay, I found that base of the toe and I found it in such a way that this is now talking to me. Here's my fingers, or this is one of my favorites. My genius friend Paul, I told him what I wanted to do. I said I need an exercise that connects the core to the fingers, and I need a device that does it. And just being such a wonderful technician. Oh, okay.
That's great.
Let's take this. Yeah. So your fingers going here. Here, go for it.
By the way, it just occurred to me, I'm wondering if something about the weight of this harp makes me change my hip.
Hell yeah. I would say that's an occupational adaptation that one has to be cognizant of.
So that would be interesting to think about if there's a better optimal position for the harp. Like,
I don't think there is, personally.
I mean, just pulling it may be to pull it back. Like, I don't know, but because it's not like I came from a tradition. I mean, I kind of invented this tradition. So I might be able to change that tradition somewhat.
My suggestion, well, this is what I'm thinking. Okay, hold on. All right. I'm out of my element officially. You only want to be with the nails of the...
Oh, because this would be really fun.
Oh, that could be badass, as long as you're in this extension state
Oh, I see.
at the same time.
Okay. Oh, I'm opening it?
Yes.
Oh,
Closing the hand is
wow.
for free. Gravity does that. The core is necessary for the extension of the fingers. So if I'm wearing this guy and I'm extending my fingers, I know my core is engaged. Just because I'm performing this extension action.
You know, that's really interesting because when we play the harp, one of the things I'm not doing.
No, you're not. Okay.
Well, I might actually. I mean, if I could, I would.
Yes.
I would do that.
Yeah, fine.
So when we play the harp, one of the things we actually learn is to pull all the way into the hand, so that we're not using our muscles to stop the hand. We're
Okay.
actually letting it. So when you said this is for free, I was like, oh, interesting, because we actually rest when we do that.
Yes, in the predisposition, what gives you the potential energy to strike the chord with some power is this opening of the fingers. So your potential to create happens right here, in the opening of the hand.
Wow.
The release of that energy is where the energy is,
Oh,
is
wow.
where you create.
Great.
So we're training your potential to create every
That's
time.
Great. I like that.
Yes, we do finger extension, or foot extension, or postural extension,
I like it.
which allows us to express.
Wow.
Yes. But I mean, all things considered, your posture is fabulous right now. Yeah,
Great.
see, you look perfectly at ease.
I do feel perfectly at ease.
Yes.
Hand me that thing.
Yes.
This is
Yes. And for
a
men,
rocket's red glare.
for example, with men, I have to explain that the fifth hole is actually for the thumb. And just open up the fingers. Don't worry about it.
It's a joke?
It was uncouth.
Oh, okay. All right. So I should do that?
Oh, well, I mean, one could. Oh, God. Okay. But when the fingers are in extension, you've engaged the core, you have the intestines grabbing, lift up, free hip, and now your capacity to generate balance is actually amplified. Okay. Right. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend going through a revolving door with that thing. But yes. Gorgeous. Lovely. Yeah. So as far as, is there a more efficient way to do this? I don't know. But I do know that you have to do deep tissue work and train your core like mad if we're gonna be seeing ever doing that.
Yeah, so what happens to me when I actually get the instrument on? I mean, this must happen to all kinds of people. As soon as you engage a machine, whether it's a computer or whether it's a harp or whether it's a bicycle, you have to be thinking differently about this.
Or yeah, so what I'm thinking is I have to recover actively. So like, this is not natural, but it's you. You have to keep doing this.
Right, that's right.
So we have to feed you the restorative game plan to keep you coming back.
And at the same time,
Growing.
Growing, but I've also invented this. So I can also look at it. Sorry, I mean, there are other options to how this can be played. I mean, I've seen people, anyway, I'm just saying this is not set in stone how this is played.
Okay.
Or how my body is with it.
Yeah, I don't know, we have to play around.
Well, I'll tell you that one of the things that I notice is when I start playing, I go in like this.
Yes.
Because this feels like, oh, I'm going away from the instrument.
Okay. So my advice would be if you can roll the hand in this way. There you go. So you're still going in, but you're going in via.
So I want to ask you something that any harpist would be like, you're freaking kidding, you're asking? No, okay, so is this better than this?
Personally, I'd say this is better.
Okay, so we can't really do that. I mean, I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
How can I do that? Could we, how about we put the harp on you and you try it?
Okay. What's the worst that could happen?
Well, the worst that could happen is that the harness doesn't fit you, and then you'd feel really bad. How are we doing on time?
I gotta be out like 10 minutes or so.
Oh, perfect. Okay, well then let's just try this just for fun, and if it doesn't fit, we'll get you a different harness.
Yeah, and then we'll give you some cool homework.
Yes, homework. I want homework. Okay, so this would go like this.
Okay. Oh, I have to. Yeah. Extra. Is this adjustable?
Not this one isn't adjustable because it's mine. I do have one that's adjustable, but I don't know where it is.
I mean, is every harpist like a?
No. This is just my personal harness. So.
Hold on, I'll lose the
Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is a little bit better. Slightly adjustable. They will. I will have an adjustable version.
And I'll switch to white beer.
Okay. Okay, so here.
This should work.
All right, now. Actually, that my eye. Oh, good. All right. Okay, good.
Oh my gosh.
No need to breathe. All right, well, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so here we go.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to be doing it for too long, so you don't really have to breathe. Okay, so come over to this side of the harp.
Is it on this side?
Yep. Lean down. You're going to plug that in.
Oh dear God. What about the organ damage?
Yeah. Well,
how ironic.
I can fix that.
The harp damaged my organs. Okay.
Just want to make sure that's in. Whoa, that's not. Okay, now you can lift up the whole thing. Lift up the harp.
Okay.
You can lift it up high.
And the hand goes.
Head. And so this is going to go like this. So now you're going to have to put it back like you're a big rock star. So I'm going to hook this in. 1 moment, I'm going to get this in this one. Okay, great. And then just so it doesn't hit you, we would plug this in. But it's probably not going to really work for you. Okay? It's not going to work this time. Okay, but that's okay. I'll kind of hold on to it.
Okay.
Okay, so it doesn't hit you in the face. Okay, so, oh, interesting. So you'd want to have it, how would you want to have it?
I don't know.
Turn around so we can see you with it.
Okay.
Well, we'll have to get you a different one. Okay, but let's just say that you're holding on to it. So how would you do your arms the way you just told me to? Like do this.
So when I hold it here from
No,
harping?
I'm gonna hold it. You wouldn't. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's strapped on and you use
Yeah.
two hands.
Yep. You may not have noticed that.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Well, you're probably
Uh,
looking at different stuff. So how would you do? You said go like this.
I mean, generally speaking,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
if we're talking physiology,
Yep.
this
Yeah.
is bad. Internal
Okay.
rotation, bad.
Okay.
External rotation, good. Palm up.
Okay.
So I don't know.
No, it's okay. We're just playing. I'm gonna think
I
about
mean, generally
this.
speaking, this,
Oh, okay.
and we can practice this. This is
Yeah,
what-
yeah. Right. Okay. So that's gonna be.
Hold your arm out, go palm to the ceiling. Done. That's posture. Now you have perfect shoulders.
Okay. Now, I bring him in. I play.
It's actually this guy that wants to roll a little bit. Can you bring it in?
Don't know. I'd have to try that.
You know what? I don't know either. And maybe the
Yeah, no,
answer
that's gonna be
is
fun. That's gonna be fun to play with.
Yeah, and maybe
You
the
want to
answer
breathe?
is-
You want to get that off so you can breathe? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Oh, thank Christ.
That's not usually the way you take it off, but hold it for a second.
That was really more of a
Okay,
life-saving
you
measure.
got it.
I need the jaws of life to get this harp on me.
Okay. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Anybody who's thinking of buying this harness, this is not how it works, so just don't worry.
Well, you must have more of a Huskies section in the harness department.
Huskies, oh, we do!
Yes, okay.
We do, no, absolutely. This is, no, this is, honestly, this is not a normal harness. Anyway, so now, homework. No, we're gonna, what, okay, like this.
Straighten your fingers. Homework. Done. Come on up on your toes, but so the base of the big toe is kicking to the ground. Can you feel your abdominals kick on?
Not yet, because I'm out of balance, which I think proves your point.
Well, the acquisition of balance is the turning on of the core. So the job of the core is to keep our center of gravity from going all over the place. That's why it grabs into the pelvis and the pubic bone. Posture, forward shoulders, balance, aging. These are all just one set of problems that we're out to solve.
Okay, so you said, one time we talked, that I should,
Find the
Go like
base
this.
of the big toe, press it into the floor. Can you find that?
so this is about identifying.
Yes, yes.
It's not about building strength, it's about identifying.
Correct. And strength is neurology. So, in other words, the ability to drive that toe into the floor, but to actually have the reaction of the muscles that connect to the toe. See, the feet are the spark plugs of the core. The fingers are the spark plugs of the core. This is why sit-ups are cute, but they really don't do a hell of a lot, and they're not going to get you through time because we're ancient climbers. We need the stress at the foot and the stress at the finger to tell the core, hello, jump in and stabilize me, please. So we have to get in a slightly...
So I see what you're saying. You're saying that I think I see what you're saying, that by doing this, I'm talking to my core through my feet.
Yes.
So you've probably said that like 80 times, and now I finally got
Well, it's
it.
hard to learn. It took
Yeah.
me 20 years to figure it out.
Yeah.
So staying young is maintaining that dialogue between toes and core, between fingers and core. When that dialogue goes silent, that's when the posture starts to fall to the prey of gravity,
Wow.
and the aging process starts sinking its teeth into us.
Wow. Okay. All right. So what am I going to practice while I'm away?
You going to place fun?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll send me a postcard.
Yeah.
That's right. Having a mediocre time. Glad you're
Yeah.
not here.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so sitting down, we're just going to practice finding this sweet spot. You lean forward and you just press your toes into the floor.
So it's all about finding this place that you were pushing
Yes, and getting the reaction we want, which is the sensation of narrowing of the waistline, which is the engagement of the core, which kicks off all the magic. The ball and socket all of a sudden is free to swivel. You can stand up using the hip ball and socket / supermarket cartwheels, and there's no need for the shoulder forward to have to materialize.
on. And what can I think when I'm running? Because that's a really good time for me to practice.
Nothing. This is, in other words,
Can't look
this.
for the ball of my toe while I'm running.
Personally, I don't think so. In other words,
Okay.
you do this so you can run.
I
You-
want to try to figure it out while I'm running.
Okay, keep your fingers straight. If you're running, you're just keeping the hand open. Now I know the core is involved for keeping the hand open.
Oh,
So that same core is freeing up the ball and socket.
I could pretend to run like this.
You could, but if we look at any picture of a sprinter
Uh-huh.
or a good athlete playing football or changing directions, the hand is always here. I mean, yes. Do you have a favorite patriot or anything like that? Okay, no. Favorite dancer? Jumping. Okay. Ben Vereen. Everyone likes Ben Vereen. Okay, the hell of Ben Vereen. Sammy Davis?
Okay, maybe it's okay. I mean, at least I know who it is.
Okay, fine. Donde está telephone? Oh, okay.
It's right there.
Right there. Here, don't move.
Right.
I just want to show you something real quick.
You know what's really fun? It's like fun to like just do this.
Well, it's a lot of fun to do that. Sammy Davis Jr. dancing.
Here are some matching videos.
Okay.
Wow.
Ta-da.
I didn't even know he was a dancer.
I'll use great hover. Anyway, see the fingers?
Yeah.
So
Like dance.
yeah, well, but okay, yeah, jazz hands, fine, Bob Fosse. But that's not just because, hey, look at my hands.
Mm-hmm.
It's because this sets off, because gravity curls the fingers, this is fighting gravity, and it sets off a whole host of reactions that allows us to perform and move and jump and change shape and adapt to stuff. Baryshnikov, leaping. So there's our boy. Anyway, yes, I look at the hands,
Right. Interesting.
and it's there for a reason. So you ask, what should I do? How should I run? You focus on keeping your fingers extended,
Wow.
and because this, not that, this
Okay.
powers, yes, that. So dance is essentially climbing trees. So that's it. So yes, now your shoulders look fabulous right now. I don't know if you're thinking about it.
No, I wasn't thinking about it.
But the practice of engaging toes and fingers, that's how you wind up with this ideal posture. Because this thing we call ideal is actually necessary in order to operate our fingers and hands, because that's what we're designed to do. So that's how you really put a dent into the aging process. Both, whatever age you are, if you're
Right.
13, and it protects the toes, to say nothing of maintaining blood supply,
Uh-huh.
lymph supply,
Wow. Huh.
disease resistance, proper digestive.
Well, I certainly feel like it's engaging. It's engaging me, and when I mean, I feel a little. I don't know if I'd walk around like that, but I'd want to.
Yes.
I'd want to reach out to somebody like that. I would love to do that.
Right. Everybody would, and we can try, and we can. Not
So, do you
everybody-
have extras of those? No.
I can get you some. I got a guy. So, but we train like this, and then when it comes
This is
down
great.
to yes, do I squat? Do I do this? What the hell? Exercises. I call these helping hands.
I really want to. I would really like to see what happens to my heart playing if I play with those.
This is power. Here, really knock the crap out of it. Get your fingers in there and extend the fingers into the foam. And it's only the fingertips.
And we don't even need my little finger because
No,
I'm
I
going
mean,
to use it.
don't want to leave them out. Little fingers matter. Here we go. Get you over here. Get on one foot. Palm up to the ceiling. Breathe. And focus on the fingers. Now, we didn't test your balance at the beginning of the hour, but balance is a force that you generate through the core via the fingers, via the toes. This is how you train. We can do a little figure 8 pattern. Can you feel how this is connecting here? Can you feel the abdominals kick on?
Yes, I can.
Good. Now you're training.
Now I feel them more here when I'm on that foot. By the way,
Okay.
Should I? I mean, is
Yeah. I'll take anything.
okay.
As you do this more, remember the light bright toy?
Nope.
Your kid would put the little dots of light in there and the image would
I
materialize.
mean, I swear I've been on this planet, but I just don't remember any of those things.
The point is, the more you do it, now we're densifying the nervous system. Now we're amplifying the connection between this thing we call the core and the periphery. And the more points of light we keep adding to you with the more proper stresses or exercises, physiologically, the younger and the younger and the younger
fun.
that you're getting. Oh, it's wicked fun. Yeah. And the balance skyrockets. You happen to look better because you have these ideal adaptations you're conditioning into yourself. And you can perform better, and you can grow, you can create. And don't even get me started on the enteric nervous system.
Oh, let's talk about that. I don't even know what it is, but yay, dark.
Hey, you're right, woohoo.
And if we put like pom poms on this, it'd be like,
Flirting with some different
This is
things.
great.
So that's killer. You want to prevent falls, and like, if I'm never going to see someone again, pop those in the fingers, extend the hand. It's kind of known that there's a connection between grip strength and tendency to fall, but that's the reason why. The
Wow.
core powers the grip. Weak grip equals weak core, and
Wow.
the consequent fall risk. If we power the grip, we are necessarily powering the core because the core powers the grip, and you're diminishing tendency to fall.
Okay, so I mean, we don't have time to do more stuff because I know you gotta go. But I just want to say, this stuff is great. This is a product you can sell. I mean,
This is a game changer.
This, this, Adam, I can like see your whole brand. I can see you changing I can see you helping people. I can see you training people who are going to be your person that to then go out and in the world and get certification. I mean, it's easy for me to see that.
Yeah.
And what are these things? These are really interesting too.
Oh, okay. That's my massage tool.
Yeah, because that was like, I liked when you went like this. That was cool.
Well, that's killer for that. Essentially, that's mother's touch in a bag. The way you learned how to
We
walk.
can do this another time, but I'm
Another
telling
time.
you, this stuff, these are your products
They are my
to
products.
sell online.
I know. And there's my body hack weights. These are pretty wild too. Because now we take the same
Is this
posture.
different than a regular?
Yes, it is. We
How?
move the handle, hold it like so.
Okay.
Oh, so that your palm is over the belly button thing. Yep. Just don't even move. Hang out. Can you feel your abdominals kick on?
Not as much as I think other people. Now I can. It takes me a while.
Oh,
and I
it'll
think
take a
it's
second.
because I spend so much time on my arms.
Understood. Just lift this up a little bit. Right there. Done. Can you feel that thing?
I'm
jump?
feeling it here
Okay.
mostly.
It's okay. If it doesn't work, it means I have to go and do some deep tissue work.
Okay. Yeah, this is really, really.
Okay, all right, so we have a little bit of removal
Yeah.
of some stress.
I mean, I think that might be a harpist thing.
Could be, but we have to stand to
Yeah.
protect you and
Yeah.
your future and your career. We're spending a lot of
Yeah.
time over here.
Yeah.
Give one more shot. Does the core light up? Bring this elbow into here.
It's hard for me to think about this because I know you have to leave. So
Okay. Anything in the abs?
I think so, but
Anyways,
I'm
it's
too
a
nervous
dumbbell
to
that
think
fixes
about
your
it.
posture just by holding it.
that's great.
Yeah.
These are so great.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how I can get this stuff to you. Just